Hello, my name is Josh Woodesy and I work for Datamars. Datamars manufactures a wide range of products for the livestock industry, such as the Z-tag management tags, the RFID tags, Simcro and NJ Phillips syringes, wide range of electric fence with Speedrite and Patriot, as well as the Tru-Test scales and RFID readers. We specialize in making the hardware that's designed for that industrial farm environment that can withstand that plus 45 degrees, that minus 35, and the dropping, tossing, throwing around devices that you require when you're processing animals. And today we're going to talk about making the most out of this RFID reader here that we are required to purchase and use in our animals in Canada. We have two readers. One is called the SRS2 reader and one is the XRS2. You can see the base difference is one has a keypad and the other one doesn't. We'll move into the SRS first. So this reader is designed to have an RFID reader here and an antenna which will send out a magnetic energy pulse 30 inches around to power up the RFID antenna in here, turn on the chip and pull back that 15 digit. Now it can store thousands of records in here and it's going to capture the date, time, and the RFID number. You can also upload, if you have a list of RFIDs that link to animals that you need to preg check or maybe there's still drug withdrawal, you can set up to create alarms as well. The other key feature with this is it's Bluetooth compatible. So you're able to simply read that number and send that off to another device, such as a smartphone, computer, handheld device like that, or one of scale heads or any other scale head that's Bluetooth capable. And the nice thing is it's going to capture the RFID number, date, and time on the device, as well as send that off to a third-party device. So you have records of each. Now we step up to the next device that we have here, and it's exact same features of battery life, Bluetooth capability. You're able to easily go up here when wanting to scan and read that tag. And let's say if you wanted to capture more information than just the visual ID and a note, all you have to do is simply go back to the home button and you can go down to settings and then go through. When you go to animal data, this is what allows you to select what fields you want to read, as well as set up custom drop downs. So if this was a cow-calf operation, I could beep that tag, put in the mother's number, have a drop down of colors, black, red, or tan. I'm a Simmental breeder, so that's where the colors are required there. And then you could also have, say, a drop down of the drugs you use, so that way you get clean, fast data captured here, and then you can type in even the weather conditions that day, the calving ease, all the information that you want. And the beauty of that is after you've captured that data, you can easily Bluetooth it to your phone or your computer and export it out. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to have a CSV or Excel file where you're going to have date, time, RFID, all the information you captured, and you can capture thousands of records at a time on the device before you need to clean it. As well as you can have multiple sessions, so that's kind of like if you were to do calving in the morning and in the afternoon, say you don't have a fancy scale head like this but a traditional scale head, you could beep your weaned calves, type in their weight, and any other treatments or information you need to that day. Now let's say if you wanted to be able to read 2 RFID tags. In that situation, then you can go down here and you're also able to turn on this mode and it'll give you able to read the offspring and then read the mother. So you can pair those two RFID together. The other nice thing is you can simply go up to scan and read, or at any time you can go to new session, and that's basically opening up a new Excel sheet where you'll collect data, or if you're working one already, you can go to sessions and open up one that's already in the system. Where this is applicable is maybe you've loaded up all your information from weaning and you're bringing the animals back through and you want to beep that animal and see if it would be a good replacement female. So you're able to see the birth weight, average daily gain, and weaning weight. And so it allows you to have all those records with you when making those decisions out there in the field. So these devices are designed to work in the cold, like I mentioned, at minus 35. I'll have about 21-hour battery life in normal conditions. And as you get to that minus 35, like all batteries, they cut in about half of useful life. The nice thing is it's a simple charging port where you might already have one of these cords for your Android device. I like to charge mine in the truck, so no special power cords required. And the nice thing is when you're using this device, you can set it up so when you read a tag, if you want it to be silent or make a beep noise or vibrate. So you can know when you're reading the tags to get that feedback to make sure that it's read right. The beauty of Tru-Test devices is they're designed to work in that industrial environment. We know you're going to drop it, throw it around. I even had a vet put it on the back of the truck, fly down the highway, and he saw it twirling down the road, and he's like, oh my god, I just broke it. But the nice thing is all he needed was a new rubber cap at the back, and he was good to go. We know you're not planning to go swimming in it, but it's designed where you can have it in water up to 30 feet. And it's designed where you accidentally leave it in the manure pack. 3 months later, you find it while cleaning it. Surprising, the farmer had no problems, still fully charged, and he was able to use it later that day. The only thing is I don't recommend putting it in the dishwasher because when I mentioned it, my wife was very unhappy with that idea, but they're designed to be industrial environment to meet your needs. So for customer support with all the Tru-Test products, you can always call into the office for North America, which is based in Texas, or after hours, the New Zealand team. The other nice feature is you get access to a free app on your phone or your computer where you can do live chat at any time to talk you through those issues if you're not sure that you're wanting to talk to someone on the phone. So you have a whole variety of issues that can be addressed with that customer service team, as well as if there's a need for one of our staff to drop by your farm and walk you through how to use the devices on the farm. That's also a possibility. Excellent. So with the Tru-Test reader, it's designed where you can have it on auto read. So that way you can have it plugged in and dangling as the animals come through, so you're going to read that. Like I said, you could have an alert file, so you could have it set up where when processing calves, some are steers, some are heifers, if you preloaded it, it'd make a special beep noise so you know to sort that animal to the right or left. So the beauty of it is you can use it while it's plugged in or not, as well as continuously read. So you could have that dangling or right above as the animals are going onto the truck and be able to read that tag without having to hold the reader as the animals process through. Order for sure, okay. And use this as the RFID reader. Okay. And then the auto sort can work with it. This is, we normally go up to a bigger scale unit like this, where you'd use this to read the RFID, the information would go back here, and the nice thing is with your data, it can do up to a 10-way sort. And so if you're wanting to sort, you identify the animal and you can sort by weight, or you can sort by sire, then weight, or sire, weight, color, sex, so and on.
So then this is sort of an appendage of an auto sort system.
Yeah, so you need to be able to identify the animal with an RFID reader, then have the brains to decide how you want that to sort, if you have a 3-way or a 10-way, and then the mechanism that will do the auto drafting, or some people on here it'll say right, left, or center, or if you have 10 it'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll do it manually based on what they see, how to sort there.
See, that's every cattle plant should have that. You know, they have a, you know, within any population, there is always that subpopulation, that bottom 25%, where all your profit is, where all your problems are, and where all your special needs are. And if you can sort those and address that from feeding, I'm a nutritionist, so that's kind of why I'm
no, it's a total trick, I mean? Because you have, say, 100 cows here, and you have the top 10 that do excellent at your operation.
They don't need anything.
Then you have 80 that need a little bit of help here or there. And then you have your bottom 10%. And your bottom 10% they're looking a little skinny, so you feed them a little more. And now your top 10 run into some calving issues, maybe some feet problem, because you're trying to save the bottom 10 that don't work in your environment or your operation. And so it's a trick of, if you could just identify those bottom 10 and move them on and keep the replacement females from the top 10, your cost of feed, nutrition, vet bills will all decrease, and you can just focus on your operation and the cattle that work for you and not work for them.
Yeah, because I think that is one of the, when we look at the margins on these livestock, they are razor thin, and there is a huge opportunity to be better than average by tapping into a little bit of smart planning.
Yeah.
And so the real question is, what is that cost on a per cow basis? What's my return on that investment? And then how do I actually physically get that going on my farm? Because that represents a technological wall for the average cattle farmer. So how do you make it easy for them? And how would you introduce that? If I have 500 cows and I have to sort that bottom 25%, I need to give them extra feed. I need to give them a little extra time to eat. They're timid eaters. They are easily bullied, that kind of thing. You need to have a special place for that. So how would you then stream what you're presenting onto that situation?
So when I'm looking at even an operation of 80 cows, I'm thinking of what are the ones that are working for you and producing the calves that are making you more money. If you're selling at weaning or finishing yourself or just backgrounding, you want to know the weight of that cow and what she's producing. Because if she's a really heavy cow and is always producing the lightest calf, she's probably costing you more in feed than what you're getting back out of her. So if you can get those base weights, and then once you get a scale system, when you think about knowing how much that total feed weighs that you're putting in the calf feeder, or how much that bale of hay is that you're selling to the neighbor, suddenly these load bars and scales that can last the next 20 years are very affordable when you're making business decisions on it, and you can get paid for what you're actually producing. As well as when you start, say, processing, and you're able to identify that animal, maybe you have an auto drafter, you start thinking maybe you don't need that hired man that comes over to help process and help you, that always slows things down and frustrates you. You can adopt some of this technology, streamline your operation, and then it makes it easier to weigh them at weaning or at finishing or before the cattle go out on pasture, setting up the system, because you can use your chute. You can also use a platform on those weigh bars, so all you need is 2 gates. You can do a 12-foot platform, slow down the animal, and have them weighed before they get off that platform. So it's about realizing that we're forced to use this management tag for an access to market, but with adopting some technology that's designed to work in the industrial farm situation that you guys are farming in, can make life a little easier and can make making those decisions on the percentage of, say, what that cow's weaning, make the decision on which ones you're going to keep and not keep. And suddenly it's not always picking the friendliest one, but it's the one that's able to pay the bills and allow you to go on vacation or get that new vehicle. And when you start looking at those numbers, everything starts to clarify and know which direction you need to head.